Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. While you're watching this, I'm currently sitting at the VA hospital with people poking and prodding around in my left eye. As most of you know, I'm having cataract removal surgery on Friday. And I'm at the pre-op so they can go in there and determine, measure, and everything else I got to do. So another Premeire. Greg Guy will be so happy. Anyway, I'm actually going to take this Premeire and explain and show you how yesterday's Premeire came to be about. So first things first, I'm going to open up an untitled project. And the first thing I'm going to do, which I've got to get back in the habit of doing, is I'm going to name it. I'm going to save the project. And this is going to be saved as Monday, April 17th Premeire. And I'm going to save it. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is when I save this, right up here, this untitled project is going to say change to this. So if I bring this again big so we can see it, and I click on save, you watch up there, it is now a saved project. Cool beans. Now I've noticed a while ago, if I hit shift space, that's not showing up down here. So I have to actually do something here on my one thing. Bring that over as well. Show keystroke. I want to. Now that's weird that when I was. Wow. I'm going to turn it on. And there's a reason for that. I was going to do something from here, but I can't. So I'm going to put this back over here and make it full screen. Because I'm going to drop and drag the video. Change the frame rate. Sure. Yeah, let's just change the frame rate. Now, if I hit shift space now, that shows up down there. So that's cool. That's what I want. So I'm going to drag this down. And they're unlinked. So I'm just going to move them at the same time the old-fashioned way and leave them unlinked. I'm going to mute the video track or the audio track. I don't want to hear it. So this is how I put these together. I'll record the video and then I'll come in here to DaVinci and I will edit it. And by edit it, I mean I'll add the cute little text or I'll cut it or whatever. So this is actually 34 minutes and 18 seconds in length. A little less than I thought and a little longer than I intended. I like to keep them around 30 minutes. Now, you'll notice here, you see me scratching my nose, my mustache here, but over here I'm not. It's because I'm recording this to show you what I do, and over here this is a recording. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab a text, and I'm going to grab the text plus. As most of you know, that's the one I like to use the most. I'm going to drag it down here and put it over here. We'll go up here and change this. Now, I got the doggone SwordSoft mouse track software running, so the backspace doesn't work. So I have to use the back arrow key and then the delete button. Now, I'm going to test something a while ago. So this is going to be a daily DaVinci, not just hitting the space bar to center that. I'm not sure why it's not showing up down there. It should be. Daily DaVinci. I want to confuse people. That's what I want that to be. And then I want the color to be, again, I've said this 1,000 times. I like the fact as I make the color adjustment here, it instantly shows up over here. I like that. That is so cool. Again, if I make this like super huge, if I make the change here, it shows up instantly over there. That's just something I really, really, really like. So I'm going to go ahead. Red's cool. Let's go with red. I haven't used red in a while. I can close that, and then I can go figure out why. Oh, that went away. Oh, you know what? Why did it go away? Oh, it went away because I hit the backspace key. So maybe if I take the doggone backspace key as not a hotkey, I bet if I hit shift now it shows up. So the things you learn 9:53 in the morning when you've only been asleep for a half hour. I think if I change this and make it, I don't know, let's make it F4. That seems to be a weird thing. So we're going to make this F4. And then we're going to uncheck it. If I hit space, it doesn't show up. Oh, because I'm still in there. I clearly don't want it to be those. So I'm going to make it F4. And then I'm going to off click of that. And then I'm going to hit F. Well, daggone it. Can I hit F? Can I get out of that? Let me see if I go to show spotlight. That gets me out of that. I don't want to hit enter. I want to hit show this. Wow. Do I have to do it in here? No, that's the settings for it. So I don't want that. Okay, so now I'm on there. So if I hit F4 now, hit the space bar, it's not going to work. If I hit F4 now, that works. Cool. So that's good. Now, this gives me an opportunity to check this right here. Will backspace work? Oh, look at that. It works. Amazing. That is so cool. So I learned something. And that's what this is all about. Learning, teaching, advising, helping, making myself look silly. Gonna change the font, and I'm just gonna go grab one. You can do it from in here. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I like that. I don't know what that is, but I like it. That's a good one for Halloween. And then I'm gonna change the layout by going to the layout tab, and I'm just gonna bring it straight up, bring it over a little bit, and make it look like it's actually part of DaVinci Resolve when it's not. Oh, that's funny. Go back over here to text, and then go into, I'll do that later. That's another show. So now if I hit play, the video is going to start. Well, I thought the video was going to start. Maybe the video is going to start. There we go. I guess I got to hit play. And that's pretty quick. And that's going to stay there for the entire length because that's how long it is. So let's get rid of that. One thing I do want to go is I want to go up here to playback, and I want to go to render cache, and I want to make sure it's on smart. And then I want to close this. When I hit play now, you can see the render bar across here. That's just kind of a good reference. It's done. So I don't need to play the whole thing. It's rendered out. So if I wanted to animate the daily DaVinci, not daily DaVinci, I could do that by going to the beginning of the playhead, coming over here to text, messing around with size, which is 0.09 right now. And I can go ahead and make it that. Put a keyframe in there. And then, let's see here. We'll go to the end of that. It's 15 seconds long. Let's cut that down to 10 seconds by going to the 10-second mark. 9. 20, 20, 10. 10 seconds. So now I want to grab this and bring it back down to there. Now it's 10 seconds. And I did that because I want that to be there. I think, you know what? I'm going to do this a different way. So I'm going to kill the keystroke. And as I already demonstrated before, just hit the button. So that's gone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the size and I'm going to remember 0.1063. And I'm going to take the size all the way down to non-existent and hit a keyframe. Then at the 2.5 second mark, which I guess that would be what, 2.5? No, that can't be right. Somewhere around in here. Go right there, and I'm going to go ahead and start animating this by bringing this up like that. Then I'm going to go to the 5 second mark. I couldn't have done that if I tried. And I'm going to animate it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to go to the end. And I'm going to animate that by going over here to the box itself. And I'm going to put in 0.1063, enter, and it's full size. So now when I play this, that should zoom out like that, or zoom in. I don't know which it is, and quite honestly, I don't really care. I just like that. I think that's cool. So now, that's what I want. What happens if, we know this is at 10 seconds, what happens if I bring this down and make it smaller? How does that affect this? Oh, that makes sense. So I'm going to Control Z that because I don't want that to take place. And I'm going to leave it at 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time. So if I hit play, and not knowing the audio, I know it's not about DaVinci. That I do know. So cool. Now I'm going to go right here and I'm going to fade that out starting about right there. So we'll come back here and we fade it out. Cool. Now I'm going to grab another text node. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to butt it up against that one. And I'm going to go in here. And because I don't have it as a hotkey now, I can use the backspace. Wow, I cannot believe. And I believe Brian Lightfoot actually told me that a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to be happy I remembered it. So this is not Daily DaVinci, not Daily DaVinci. And I'm going to go, or rather, 1, 2, 3, OBS. And then we will bring our playhead over, change the color. Oh, stop. I'm going to have to go in and make some adjustments because I don't want that. I want it to be somewhat centered. I want it to be a different color. Let's go with plain yellow. I don't know. Yellow looks all right. Let's go with this yellow. That's fine. And then it looks like I need to bring it back. 1, 2. That looks centered to me. Close. That's close enough centered for me for what I'm doing. Go to the layout. Bring it up. Bring it over. I'm going to change the size. I can change the size in here too. Well, no, I like doing it over here because I get more control. And then can I move that in here? No, you cannot. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Go to layout, put it right there. There we go. Now I don't want this one to run very long at all. So, and I'm not going to put any animation on it. I'm just going to reduce it by going here. I know it's 15 seconds long because that's what I set everything to. I'm going to change the clip duration from 15 seconds to 0, delete, delete. I'm going to make it 2 seconds. If I hit change, that better move. Cool. So that's 2 seconds in length. And I can also animate, or not animate, but I can fade it in and I can fade it out. So if I hit play by hitting the space bar, it plays, fades out, fades. Well, that wasn't much of a fade in and it wasn't much of a fade out, but that's cool. So we're good. Now I'm going to go ahead and just skip forward. That's good for now. I don't need anything. I've got audio. So we're going to go over here and I'm just going to hit the, go to the end so I can kind of work my way backwards to find where we actually start with OBS. All right, somewhere in there. So I'm gonna play it. Hitting the space bar will play it. There we go. We're in the. This is where, right in there is where we go to to DaVinci. So, what I want to do now is I want to add some text to this. Go into the titles, and you can hover over these and you can see down. Okay, so again, F12 spotlight, make it a little bit bigger so you see everything. A little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. If you hover over it, it shows you where it's going to go. The scroll, lower right, lower left. Background reveal, kind of cool. Another background reveal lower. It's pretty neat. It's pre-built in there. This is one I made. I made that actually. Just use what you like. And this is just going to be simple. So let me try something with circles. I'm curious. I don't think this is going to work. And then I'm going to grab a text plus and put over that. And then I'm going to go in here and hit. And now change the color. Obviously, it's got to be something other than light blue. Let's go with red. Well, purple. Let's just go with the standard. I don't like that standard red though. But for now, let's go with red. And then that's going to be 15 seconds. I'm going to run this up just a little bit. Going to grab another text node, put it right here. Going to go into here. Make Greg mad because this is now going to say DaVinci resolve. May just leave it white. May just go with white. So we're going to come over here and start from here. We're going to play this and see how close it is. Gosh, my eyes are bothering me. Okay, cool. But I've got to shrink it down because I don't want it running for 15 seconds. I want it to be just long enough to catch people's attention and but not long enough that it's boring and you can't see what's going on. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm not sure why that's not showing up over here. Oh, there, it finally did catch up. So we're going to go down to the color. I'm going to go ahead and put that back to white as well. Hit OK. Really? There we go. But you'll see we're seeing both of them. We're seeing DaVinci Resolve, and we're seeing that one as well. And I don't want to see that. I want to see one before the other. So how do we fix that? Well, we simply grab the DaVinci Resolve and we just move it to about right there. And then if we play it from here, we get, and now DaVinci Resolve. So now I got to go in here and look at this, because now that's not working with that color. The circle's going to continue. Yeah, so I want that sort of, kind of. I'll work on that. I want to change the size a little bit. But you'll see in the background it says, and now. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. That looks pretty cool. This is how I develop things. This is how my mind works. I'll get in there and I'll have a specific idea to begin with. And then by messing around with it, I get to here. So I like how that looks. I even like the color scheme, even though it kind of clashes. So now if we come over here and play it from here, we get that. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to bring this down to, well, I didn't do much DaVinci if this thing's 34 minutes in length. I want to go to the end of that, end of that, and then I want to, what's that duration, just out of curiosity? That is, oh, wrong one. So I clearly don't want to change that. I want to go back to circles. There we go. Circles is 15 seconds, I believe. Change clip duration. Yeah, 15 seconds. So I'm going to cut that in half. 0. I'm going to make it 7 seconds. Change that. I'm going to go back to here, play it from there, see what I think. And now Daily DaVinci. You know what? I may even make that even less than that. Let me look at this again. Now Daily DaVinci. Boom. I want the circles to stop right there. So I'm going to bring this to here. And then that's at the 33:12 mark, or this goes the way I want it to go. I'm going to bring this down to here. I'm going to bring this down to there. Go back to there. Go back to there. And then I'm going to bring this one down to here. And this one down to here. Go back to about there. Hit play. Little quick, but I'm okay with it. For right now, I'm okay with it. I'm just trying to go find where we transition from OBS, where I transition from OBS over to DaVinci, because that's where I want this. I don't want it there. There we go. That's DaVinci. Clearly. Wow. Yeah, I thought I talked about DaVinci quite a long time, actually. I didn't think it was a minute and a half long, honestly. I hate to play this all the way through just to get the doggone time frame. I should be able to, there we go. So I'm going to play it from here. Oh, that's still DaVinci though, because I see the background is DaVinci. So let me keep doing this. Until I get to when I open DaVinci Resolve up. This is going to be fun. I already foresee an issue. Okay, this was the beginning of that. I was explaining what I did. I think we're getting close. Yep, that was showing how to mask it. There we go. So I want to play this until the screen goes to, well, is there more DaVinci in here? Wow, I know about where I want to do that. That's when DaVinci starts right there. Okay, good. That's is that the first time I start DaVinci or the second time I start DaVinci? I'm going to remember 2614. Go back a little bit more. Okay, I could probably cut that out, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the end of everything, which is here. I'm going to grab all this right here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to the 26-minute mark by going back to the beginning. And I'm just going to move the playhead back to the 26-minute mark. 2614, I believe it was. I'm just using the left arrow key. As you can see, it's down there. It's indicating that. And I'm going to a little slower than I want, but this will work. I'm gonna hit play. I want it to be just a little bit before that, and I'm gonna paste that in there right there. Go over here, hit play. Okay, I can adjust that later. So now I don't want 2 instances of that. So that should still be highlighted. I'm just going to make sure by re-highlighting it, and I'm going to hit backspace to delete it. And then if I go back, it's going to go back to there. Cool. So I want that to be a little bit longer, but I want to base it off the circle. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to 3 seconds. That's at 2 1/4. That's 3 seconds. And then now I want this to be the same length. So 3 seconds. And I want this to be the same length. 3 seconds. And that looks to be a little long, but we'll see. So we hit play. We transition from OBS to... Yeah, that works out good. So that's how I do it. I record a video in OBS. I bring it into DaVinci. I edit it by, in this case, just adding text, render it, and upload it. And that's it. So there's going to be one on Monday and one on Tuesday. Now this is, gotta think how I want to do this. How do I want to do this? Oh, I know how I want to do it. I want to render it. This is what I get for not getting any sleep. And I want to title this Oddly enough, the same as Monday, April 17. Oh, I forgot cap locks is on. So take that off. Monday, April 17th, Premeire. And I want that to go to my Premieres folder, which is over here in my D drive, which is in DaVinci, which is in completed project, which is alphabetical. So I just got to go find Premieres. Oh, Premieres. I want that to go in there. I'm going to save it. Going to be an MP4 as usual. Should experiment with other ones. Here we go. And we're going to render it. See how long that takes. It says it's going to take about 10 minutes. So, do I pause this? Now it's down to 5 minutes. Now we'll just let it run. You keep hearing my phone make a noise. I'm getting messages on Facebook. Jeff Ryman sent a message and Robert Michael sent a message. So, here we go. And this recording will actually be shown on Tuesday. I'm going to see what happens if I go over here and type. Yeah, see, I'm typing a Facebook message, but because that program is on, it actually shows up over here, which is fine. Make people wonder what's going on. And it says it's got about 3 minutes to go. If you have any complaints or suggestions or ideas, submit them to me at kstoutzoom, Z00M at gmail.com. And I will be more than glad to test out, experiment, learn, show you what I know about whatever you're inquiring. So I'm going to go ahead and disable the keystroke. That way you don't see the text that I typed. And this is rendering along pretty good, actually. Kind of curious. I'll try to stay awake to watch it. Now I am going to do something else. I'm going to turn that off for just a second. I still don't understand why I couldn't get that to work on that other scene. That's really weird. If it didn't work on this scene, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. But since it works on this scene just fine, it's just really, really confusing. So this has got about a minute to go. I'm going to give some shout out first and foremost to Tony Wallow that paid for the studio version of DaVinci Resolve to allow me to do this. I'm so grateful for his contributions to the channel and the community. Beyond words, there are not enough kind words to say to Tony Wallow other than thank you. I appreciate it. And I will hope to keep making things so that your money wasn't wasted. I do so much appreciate it, and I'm very thankful for it. Tony paid for not only DaVinci Resolve, but the majority, if not all, of the studio. It's just great, and I don't thank him enough. I also want to give a shout out to Sean Gallagher for paying for the Sword Soft mouse track. That is very cool. I want to give a shout out to Brian Lightfoot for introducing me to Sword Soft Mouse Track. William Dawson, Brian Lightfoot again, Wintermute, that all dabble in DaVinci Resolve. And when I say dabble, a couple of them are, and Rick Lakes. Rick Lakes has taken an interest to DaVinci. They are fast learners, very fast learners. And that's good. That is great. Hopefully Bobby Warren's class, some of the students get interested in this and want to learn more. If they don't already know how to do this, they probably do actually. Kids these days are really smart. Way smarter than I was when I was in high school. That's going to say it's done. So I'm just going to minimize this. I'm going to go to my renders. And that popped up over here on this monitor. So inconsistent on where it shows up. And we know it's alphabetical, so we know it's in Premieres. I know it's there because it was on the folder. Oh, you know what? I got to re-render it because there's no audio. I muted the audio. I shouldn't. I should have caught that. That was my bad, but this is cool. So this is a simple fix. We'll just end this. We'll delete this. I don't need to have that. I know it's messed up. I'll close that. I'll go back into DaVinci. I'll unmute the audio track by going to the edit page, unmuting the audio track, going back to the beginning, going back to the rocket render, export, whatever you want to call it. I've heard it called a million different things. And I'm going to re-add it to the queue and render it. I'm going to end this. I know it's going to be good. It's going to take about 5 minutes to do. Actually, it shows 4 minutes. So it's rendering quicker with the audio than it did without the audio. That's kind of cool. Thank you all again. Be sure to turn in to Ken Stott Live every night, 10:30. And unless Mrs. K is off, and then it'll be 9 o'clock. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support, your suggestions, your humor, your kidding. I really do. Thank you. Have a great day.